Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Fear to Freedom Project YouTube channel. I am Dr. Deb, and I am your host and the creator of this YouTube channel. So, we're going to be diving deep into a lot of behaviors and actions and thoughts and ideas and that cause us fear. And I was listening to Michael Beckwith's YouTube channel yesterday, and someone talked about, they wrote in to say that they had a dear friend, that they had a best friend. It would be considered a BFF, right? And they attend yoga, but the BFF does not. And the BFF just thought that yoga was everything adversarial to God, that it wasn't honoring God, that it's sort of like maybe witchcraft or something like that, not witchcraft, but it's not honoring God. And so the person was writing in to say, now I'm questioning, my relationship, with God and, what I'm supposed to do. And I mean, I just left yoga. Something so good can't be bad. And when I was in there practicing, and it is seriously a practice, it was extra. I normally go to restorative yoga, and today I went to sun salute yoga, and they move through the poses and the postures like in seconds. So I was sweating, but it felt really good to my body. And I thought about how I am honoring my body, which is the temple that I have here on earth that was given to me by Source, the all that is, God. And so that is a way that I honor my body. And not only does it help in terms of me stretching and loosening my body up, but it gets my body in preparation of being quiet and going into meditation. And so I just thought to myself, and of course, he gave his wisdom, which was great wisdom, and wisdom covers fear. So I'm hoping and praying that the person walked away, and I know that they did, walked away with a sense of empowerment and a sense of connection to the earth. It is no way that that is adversarial to God, Source, the creator, because you are honoring your body in such an amazing and miraculous way. Whenever you can sit and you can hold a posture and you can stretch in the morning, it just makes you feel so much better. You move better. I play pickleball better after I do yoga. But that is a limiting belief. And I'm not sure where that belief comes from, but I want to know, is there something that you do to honor Source, Creator, God in you that you feel maybe non-traditional to someone else? I mean, it could be going and talking to the ocean. It could be talking to water. I remember when I was in Panama, I live in Panama part time. I left the country and I moved to Panama. And when I was over there, I know now that I was in exchange in having interactions with a earth and a water shaman. And before we got into the ocean, we were there to do a ritual and just to kind of cleanse ourselves. But before we got into the ocean, she prayed. And the ocean is really vast. It's pretty scary for me. It was, and it still is. I'm working through that. But because it's so big, but I love the water. I love to hear it and I love to see it because it is so vast. It gives me a really good picture of this is God, right? Because we couldn't do this. So I just love the ocean. But I'm a little afraid of just kind of getting in there because there's life in the ocean. And so I kind of tread gingerly. I don't go far out. I am a great swimmer. But again, that's just something that I'm working on. So she prayed before we went in, and she held everyone back until she had her moment, and it was some time, and she prayed, and then she told us to go in. Well, I just learned that, you shamans, they talk to spirits, they talk to, the water, they use plant medicine. I did use plant medicine while I was there, for a mastitis here on my head. So when I went into the water and we all got in, the ocean was moving, right? And in probably on my own, I would have been like not so far in there. I mean, I was immersed in the water and it was moving, but it felt so good. I did not have any fear. I can say that is probably one of the, only times, it might have been a few other times because I did go to the water with someone else, but I just felt free. I did not feel encumbered by fear or what was under me or anything. So yes, guess what? I'm going to be talking to the water just to say, I'm coming in. Is it okay for me to partake now? So, because there's spirits and energies that are moving all around us, and we may think that is very weird, but we shouldn't, because we were taught in the church that there is negative spirits, right? And there are self-doubt, shame, guilt, anger, fear, jealousy. Those are negative energies and negative spirits, and they are all around us. So you can remember, or if you do remember, when you were in the church, and in everybody's church, there is a concept of the devil or a negative energy, but you can speak to it. You can speak to it. So, and I remember my mother used to always say, you talk to the devil. I have best friends. I have friends that talk to the devil. It's like, get behind me, get under my feet. Well, guess what? The same still applies. It's just that it's a different awareness and a different level of consciousness, at least for me now. And I'm so thankful and grateful because the pressure is off. I feel very free in this knowing. So, yes, invite fear, invite unbelief, invite jealousy, invite anger, invite all of these negative energies out of your life and cover them with wisdom. I learned that to cover fear, you just send fear back to wisdom, because you already know that fear exists, but you don't have to attach to fear. A fear doesn't have to attach to you. You can say, fear doesn't live here. That's exactly what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. So I wanted to know from people, what are you afraid of? Is there something that you are afraid of in terms of what you've learned before? And really not, saying, okay, that information was something that is important to me, or it served me at a different time, and it did, but right now that information doesn't serve me. What serves me is knowing that we come from one creator source, all of us, everyone, even the people that the people that hurt you, the people that have committed acts of trauma against you. We are all from one source. And so I'm asking people today, like, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? And just be honest with yourself, because fear is real. It is a negative energy. When you walk around someone, or you go someone and you always say something, maybe someone will say their vibe is not good. Their vibe is just not good. People say that where you feel the vibrations, because we're energy. I learned that we're not just this human body that we see. We are energy. We are spiritual energy beings having a human experience in this body. And what you see is just a fragment of who we are. That is just the truth. And so I just challenge people to Expand your awareness and your consciousness just by going within yourself. That's it. Just going within inside of yourself and knowing, not believing in God, source, creator, but knowing that you are an example, an idea of that creator. You are. Take the layers away, peel the onions away. Like whenever we pass and transition, there is no death. That I can tell you. I will bring a young lady on, one of my sister friends who is a channeler through the fourth dimension. She's a medium between the third and the fourth dimension. And she certainly brought my ancestors through. And there's no way she could have done that. So, so think about it. I know it may be a little bit of scary to think about it because it's the unknown. It's not something that we have been taught. We have not been taught these things. And I know we were given the best we could, but there is information that Source wants us to know. God wants us to know that we are Him, that we are powerful, that there is no reason for you to have fear because there's no fear in God, right? So there's no fear. I heard His voice tell me that when I was, back in my 30s. And it was such an amazing experience because I thought, oh my goodness, there is a God. Like, where did that come from? I've always had questions because church didn't add up. It did not. There was always a contradiction. And it just seems like church or religion, it teaches separatism, separateness. And we're not. Spirituality is we are one. We are one. That is it. You cannot get away from it. You can deny it all you want to, but you are your brother's keeper. And we're all God's children. We're all here to walk each other home. So let's do that. So that's why I created this channel, because I wanted my voice to be heard. I wanted to face my fears. And I believe that I have a message. I have always been in the field of helping someone else, but I gave that up. When I retired, I stopped. I may use that word every now and then, but I am moving away from that word because helping makes you feel tired. It can be exhausting. And I don't want to be exhausted. So now I am in service to people. I want to be in service to people. When you put the label of helping, how does that feel? I got to help somebody. I need to help somebody. It kind of sort of puts pressure on you, right? It does. But if you look at your exchange and what you're doing is you're being in service to someone and not through your own will. Trust me, the things that we do and say are being delivered and inspired by God, by the universal source creator. That is it. It is not your own. Like, remember when we were in church, and I know my mother used to say, or I used to hear them say, like, take up the cross, submit yourself. And that's exactly, I get it. But there was a different understanding in church. It was always fear-based to me. Like, okay, if I don't take up this cross, what's going to happen? Maybe I don't want to take this cross up, right? And so, and that still is true right now. You have a choice, right? We all have a choice. And I'm so thankful for that choice, right? That I get to decide and choose love instead of fear. And so I want to ask you something. Are you letting fear stop you in any way? Are you letting fear stop you from making a decision about your job, your family, your significant other, yourself, your freedom, your happiness, your peace, your balance? Are you letting fear stop you in any way? And that fear shows up in a way that's kind of sort of disguised, right? Because we are so attached to what we are used to doing, knowing how we are to behave. We totally been conditioned. We have totally been conditioned. And I am committed to unconditioning myself, unlearning those things which do not serve me. They are not truth. They are all conditioning, not for empowerment, but for fear, to invoke fear. There's a reason why people are afraid. There's a reason. There is a benefit to negative energy and spirit sources that keep us in a position where we're afraid and we don't know. We don't believe that we are connected to a source, or that we have the power that's inside of us, the same as God. We don't think that. At least I didn't. I stopped it. God created this world, but I'm not creating the world, but yes, I am creating the world that I live in. I am creating that through my consciousness, through my awareness and my mind. Whatever you think, you will be. That is in the Bible. Everybody talks about that. It's in the Bible. So a man thinketh he is. I don't know all of the scriptures, but I will be making reference because I have all of my information around me, and I'm going to be making reference to some Bible verses. But yeah, we are creating this world around us, this scary world that we see, where there's so much calamity and there's so much disharmony and just trauma and violence and war and anger and all of this. We're creating that because we are thinking that this world is scary. We're thinking from a base nature where we're afraid and we're attaching to all of those energies, and we're not having faith that we can change this world. I believe that we can. I believe in humanity. I do. And I know that might be like, maybe it's a foreign concept, and maybe somebody's like, man, I don't believe in this world because all of this stuff is going on. That's true. It is a lot of things going on. There's a lot of beautiful things that are happening in this world. Think about it. There's a lot of beautiful things. Right now, I know COVID was devastating, but that was a reset. That was a reset. We are shifting. This world is shifting. Even young people. Listen, I'm going to try to get me some young people on my channel to tell me how they feel about what they're doing, how they're approaching life, how they're living life. Because I'm watching them on TikTok, Instagram. I pay attention, and they are having no fear at ages where I had so much fear. They're not attaching to all of those old belief systems. They're moving on. They are going. They're leading. And so I'm thankful for that. I really, really am. So what are you letting fear stop you in any way? Any way, shape, form, or fashion? Are you letting fear stand in the way of you realizing your potential, who you are, your dreams? And your dreams can't be too small. We are small thinking. So I have decided to upgrade my dreaming to things that I think are so totally impossible. We always talk about that in the church house. All things are possible through Christ who strengthens me. That has become a mantra, but I don't think people really believe it, because I kind of didn't. And I don't think that people really, really believe that. Now I don't believe it. I know it. I have moved from believing to knowing, because I was believing, but then I had unbeliefs, right? So I would say to God, let me pray for my unbeliefs. Help me to believe. Well, one of my sister friends said, in her moment with the divine, he said to move from believing to knowing. He said it to her. So that meant he said it to me because she brought it to me. So now I know I don't want to believe. So I just want to read you something today. Some trade their dreams for comfort, yet comfort is the enemy of progress. Success requires showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. And even when it feels uncomfortable, it takes guts and an endless vision to stay consistent to your dream. Don't stop dreaming. Stay consistent, even though, by all accounts, everything around you would say that dream's not going to come true. Laugh at it. Yes, your dream can come true. My dream is coming true. So, even if it's uncomfortable, even if someone doesn't believe, you stay in your knowing that your dreams can come true. So, here's your action today. Journal where you can be more consistent in your life in alignment with your soulful goals. Then show up. Journal about it. I am creating a journal right now. It's going to be great. And people don't believe in journaling. I have so many journals I've been writing, goodness, all of my life, because I've been trying to figure out life all of my life. And so, I've had so many questions, and I looked back over my journals and looked at them and saw what kind of distress I was in. So I tell you that practice really, really helps. But I have just never given up on myself. I started to. I did. The first time I thought about giving up on myself was when I was 14 years old. And that's not what this episode is about today, but we're going to dive deep into suicide and suicidal thoughts. So just think about what you're afraid of. What is holding you back from you right there at the crossroads? You right there. But something is holding you back. Fear of what? What someone will say? What your family will say? Most of the time it's what our family, we're just afraid of what our family will say, right? What our friends will say, how they will look at us. Well, I submit to you that I am you. And so if you look at me in any kind of way, you're just looking at yourself that way. So I'm showing up, and I'm going to show up in love. And when I show more love to humanity, I show love to me. My grandfather taught that message, that if you trespass against anyone, you're doing it to yourself. Right? So it just, people who do that, they have it's a clear picture of what they're doing to themselves. They don't have self-love, self-awareness, and self-care. So I am thankful for this beautiful day. I am thankful for you watching. And I know that this channel is going to be, and the information that we bring is going to be something so magnificent for you. So I thank you, and I hope that your day is just as amazing as you are. And just remember, you can invite fear right out your door. You go to the front door, you open it, and you call in wisdom, and you invite fear out of your life. Thank you so much. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be bringing some information. I don't know. The universe is going to bring everything through because I'm totally open now. I am open. So I'm excited about that. I love you so much. Have an amazing, amazing day. And thank you for listening.